Uncle Jerry is one of the uncles, of the 5, 6 uncles. And no offense to anybody else, but he was my favorite. He truly was my favorite. But he always just would hug me, kiss me, I love you, and then, go on his way with the other uncles and stuff. When my father died, he died very young, and the uncles came right over. And the first one that came in was your grandfather, my Uncle Jerry, and he just hugged me and kissed me, said I love you, and both of us were tearing. I just really, really have always loved him and enjoyed him, and he's funny and handsome, and yeah, he's really great. Now, when you started education, he was one of the first ones that you talked to.
He was the first one. Yeah. I was a musician for the first part of my adult life, and Jerry just kept saying to me, you would make a great music teacher. And I'm thinking, oh no, I'm not that kind. But yeah, you are. And he would just mentor me and talk me into it. And he actually let me come to his school. He hooked me up with the music supervisor at the Summit Middle School. He was principal at the time, and I spent a day there. And he adopted me for the day.
Aunt Joan and Uncle Jerry go to every concert of Larry's that he has.
That's right.
They've always been very supportive. Very supportive.
He's one of the more giving people I've ever met.
But it's very interesting with my father. There's a lot of humor. He just likes to joke. He doesn't want to talk about anything
about
really
serious stuff.
Just let's have a good laugh. Let's enjoy it. And that's the kind of person he is. And he also doesn't focus on the negative. He's always used to be in the positive.
I was married once before, and my husband, my ex, left me when I was pregnant. So I did not know how to tell the uncles. I was the very first one out of the whole Murphy cousins to get a divorce. So I wrote a letter, and I wrote to all the uncles, and I wrote a very, very tender letter that, and emotional, that this really wasn't my fault, and, but I know that I'm going to be happy because God has blessed me with this child. And the following week was what we called a Murphy picnic. And it included everyone, all the Murphys. It was like a reunion. And I remember nobody said a word, but again, Uncle Jerry came up to me, hugged me, kissed me, and said, I love you. And that was it. And I just knew in my heart that he had read the letter, and that's enough said. I just want to tell you that I love you.
When our house flooded, we lost our cars in our house.
Yep.
And we were kind of destitute. And we were looking to borrow anything, cars, because we really didn't know what our finances were going to be. And Uncle Jerry and Aunt Joan said, well, you can use this car for a little while. Mm-hmm. And we didn't know that it was known as the Death Mobile, because, it was sort of like the brakes worked better if you stuck your foot out the door.
No, it wasn't that bad.
It was, it's a scary car, I must admit.
Well, I think the steering was a little weird, right?
The steering was really loose, and every time you put your foot on the brake, it vibrated like it was an earthquake.
I was a senior in high school, and Uncle Richie had given us the Grand Le Mans, another car that died. Right, and it didn't die on me. It's having a hard time turning over every once in a while, so you just couldn't, you had to sit there and hold the key, and especially on the cold mornings, please don't start. Decided that, clearly it just needs a little bit more spark or juice. So if I pour octane into the carburetor, that would be all we need, because it just needs more oomph.
Yes. Oh my gosh.
Pouring octane into the carburetor. He has the hood open, and before he started, fortunately, and something caught his attention. He looked away, and this high octane fuel spills.
Went all over.
Doesn't think twice of it, and I'm in the shower, and he sparks the engine.
Oh my God! Flames!
It's on fire. And so.
Oh my gosh!
I'm not a morning person. And I'm walking out of my shower, and I look over the balcony, and I see the hood open, car engulfed in flames.
Oh my gosh!
And my father, not one to panic, I see him at the bottom of the step. I'm looking out, and it's okay. And I look down at the bottom of the step. It's all under control. Don't panic. It's okay. I called the fire department. Do not panic. I'm still sort of half asleep, looking at the car.
Oh my goodness.
That's not good. By the time it took them to back the fire truck in close enough to get to the car, the thing had just burned itself out.
Oh, I guess he has a lot of influence on me. I mean, he is very funny. He always was funny. I always thought he was like a clown, and I turned out to be a professional clown for my business. And I think he really thought that that was pretty good because, number one, I started my own business, but number two, being a clown like the Murphy brothers were. So